What's going on, everybody? Caleb here, and welcome to the M&M Superspeedway here in Boston, Massachusetts, the fictional NR2003 Superspeedway, and we're here for the running of the 2023 Christmas Eve Showdown, the first annual, or hopefully annual event, Christmas event that we'll be doing. Not the first on the channel, but the first that I will be doing, and I'm really excited for this one. This is going to be a great race, I think. It's going to be a celebration of the Christmas holiday, everything that it stands for, everything that makes it special. And we're just all here to have fun and celebrate. But joining me up here in the booth for this special event, we've got AG. Welcome back.
I'm back.
It's really fun to have you up here in the booth.
I'm excited for this one. Yeah, sorry. I'm excited for this one. Obviously, it's been a couple years since we've done a Christmas special event on the channel. I think since 2020 was the last time we did one, but great to have it back, and it's in a new form. But after what we saw yesterday in those dual races, and unfortunately it didn't set the starting lineup. We had some issues with that. I think we're still going to be in store for a great one here today on Christmas Eve, but excited to see it. We got some new names and some returning faces as well, so very excited to see all you guys and all these guys race for 50 laps here today on Christmas Eve.
For sure, it's definitely going to be fun here tonight. Starting lineup's going to be a little different than expected because kind of had to scrap the dual races, but I'm sure you all still enjoyed those. Just be treated a little bit differently, kind of just like precursor races to the main event. But we're still going to have some fun here tonight. It's still going to be a great race, and engines should be firing here momentarily. There they go. And we'll get these guys rolling off here momentarily, and we'll get you all your starting lineup for tonight's event. On the pole, it's the number 44 of Chase Harris, starting alongside the number 09 with Lodovic Charette, rather leading the Truck Series Championship and has a pretty good shot at winning the title. Have to see if Lodovic...
It'll be a good race tomorrow.
Yeah, have to see if Lodovic can seal it off tomorrow. Looking further on down the field, row number 2, we find the 50 of Philip Torres, starting alongside the 55 of Aaron Abel. Row number 3, we have the 7 of Logan Williams, starting alongside Mr. Edge himself, the 88 of Nicholas Samadino. Row number 4, we have the 47 of Andrew Miller, who won his quote-unquote dual race in absolutely spectacular fashion, tying with Travis Crampton in that number 30. We'll have to see what he can do tonight. And starting to do this outside, it's the number 21 of Roberto Cranon Jr. And rounding out your top 10 in row number 5, we have the 22 of Sam Odoskin, starting alongside the number 6 of Bernardo Guilliera. AG, I'll ask you, who do you think is going to be the one to go to victory lane tonight in the 2023 Christmas Eve Showdown?
Well, we're breaking a record here today. With 45 drivers in one singular race. That is the largest field we've ever had on the channel. But also because of that, the dual races yesterday didn't mean anything to the starting lineup because we couldn't affect or couldn't change the starting lineup in Save Game Editor because we had too many cars. So, hey, we saw the great races yesterday, and Andrew Miller, watch out for him. But he's right there alongside the original Mr. Edge, Nicholas Samadino, who did that before. Well, actually, you have to see the second one to do it, but he's the one we all remember. So watch out for Nicholas Samadino. He's my pick to win. But I got to shout out some other guys. Drew Webb's back. Great to see our Wall Cup Series champion in this race. And Jesse Turner, first start of the year, first ever winner on the channel. Great to see him back as well. Got so many great faces. It's going to be a blast here tonight, Christmas Eve.
Going to be interesting to see what happens. But the pace car is down the pit lane. And coming to the line, it's going to be Chase Harris in the 44, Lodovic Charette in the 09, who's going to lead us to the green flag. We're racing in the 2023 Christmas Eve Showdown. Coming off turn number 2, one guy that's absolutely wasting no time is the 7 of Logan Williams. He's already looking to the inside, but here comes the 47 of Andrew Miller, trying to make it 3 wide for the lead already. He's going to move up. That's going to allow the 22 of Sam Odoskin to take it 4 wide for the race lead already. The duels kind of showed us that these guys are not afraid to be aggressive, and so far that's really showing. Here comes the 14 of Avery Alford. looking to the inside for the lead, as is the 29 of Owen Miles.
And already, we had ourselves, what, 5 lead changes on the first lap?
Yeah.
So that's the cool thing about, this place. And, the cool thing about this event, we don't have many races like this. Even the Thanksgiving 500 doesn't necessarily play out like this anymore. But it's going to be all down to how well these guys can maneuver their race cars and just being in the right position at the right time. So a lot of luck going to be involved here tonight, I should say. But, hey, you know what? Right now, that 22 looking pretty good there. Sam Oskin got the 14 to the inside there of Avery Alford, and the 12. There is our Wawa Cup Series champion of Drew Webb. Great to see him back. His first start in a couple of months after he went away for a while. But we'll have to see. I mean, he did an excellent job in the Wawa Cup Series this year. I'm sure he'd love to get his 7th win of the year in this Christmas Eve Showdown.
Yeah, I definitely know Drew Webb has some serious racecraft, as he showed over in the Wawa Cup Series, but you can already see these guys are heavily fanned out. We've got 3, 4 wide almost everywhere throughout the field. But up front, they're side-by-side for the race lead. Andrew Miller, Sam Oskin. Miller's got help right behind him from the 51 of Justin Zidell. Now he's going to try to take a peek to the inside as they go through 1 and 2. And right behind him, it's a 73 of Matthew Hubert. He's going to try to take it 3 wide for the lead, but Nathan Stapleton's going to make the move before he can.
And don't look now. Here comes Jesse Turner. I mentioned him earlier on. His first start of the year on the channel. So great to have him back. It's been a little while since he's made a start. First ever winner on the channel, of course, all the way back April 1st, 2015. And I'd love to see this guy go to victory lane here tonight. That'd be cool. That'd be his 26th career win, I think. I can't remember. He's up there with Sam Adino and
one
Fitzwater.
car.
Spin.
Hard into the inside wall. That's Reggie Fogelman.
That's a tough break for Reggie right there. I don't think we're going to get a caution there.
Alonso
also caught up in that one as well. Oh, boy.
No cautions
We saw this, when we did that Route Energy Pro Series finale at Talladega. If it's at the back of the field, nobody's coming, and they clear out pretty quick, they usually keep it green, and that's exactly what happened right there. Tough break for those guys, though.
Yeah, really tough break there. That's going to set them behind the 8 ball early. But put a replay on the bottom left-hand side of your screen of what happened. That was looked like a pretty hard shot to the inside wall for Reggie Fogelman. And probably just got caught up with Harold Alonso. Nowhere for him to go. On lap 3, we've already got our first incident. Still no caution, though. We stay green, and these guys are absolutely still going at it as Nathan Stapleton looking to take the race lead away here. He's got a push from the 20 of Braden Perez. And now here comes a 36 of Juan Rodriguez with a push from the 21 of Roberto Crown Jr. But Crown's going to take that momentum, and he's going to try to go for a move himself. As they're 4 wide right behind Nathan Stapleton. If you're Stapleton, where do you go? What lane do you block?
Exactly. I mean, you have 4 lanes. Sometimes there's nothing you can do. Seeing Jack Haas there, first career start for him in the 34. He got a little bit close right there, going in the turn number.
Oh, we got cars spinning.
Like
we got a crash on the back straightaway.
Here.
1 car upside down. That's the 44.
Oh my goodness.
Harris violently flipping, and we got a pile up on the backstretch.
And that's just the nature of this type of racing. When they're all bunched up like that, at the speeds we're going, we're already averaging over 200 miles an hour.
Oh,
I'm surprised to see
boy.
flips like that. Nicholas Samadio caught up. That's a tough one for him there.
Thomas Troxel. Got Igor Barreto, Andrew Miller, Brad Stover, Joshua Harrison, your pole sitter. Stuart Grattan probably caught up in that. Logan Williams, Rogel Dorn, Laura Chung. Oh, Drew Webb.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Not the best returns for him right there. So many strong drivers caught up in that accident.
Yeah, Matt Tuck, you saw in the pit lane there. Matthew Hubert. And already on lap number 5, that is going to take a bunch of cars. Bunch of strong cars, I might add. Out of this race.
Mm-hmm. And that's a shame, too, because those are some of the better drivers. I mean, not to say that there are better drivers over others, but some of the more experienced drivers caught up in that one, like Sam Adeo, like Troxel. Drew Webb, of course, the Wawa Cup Series champion from this year, also caught up in that accident. Shame to see all those guys get caught up that early. It's looking forward to seeing them race it all out to the end, but not going to be the case. Meanwhile, Roberto Crown Jr. leading this field, Nathan Stapleton. Got the 36 of Juan Rodriguez there, and then Jack Haas and the 20 of Braden Perez. Hey, Mr. Steele, you win. This is the kind of race I would feel Braden Perez would pull off after what we saw in the Wawa Cup Series this year. So if he's still in contention at the end, I'd watch out for him. But we'll have to see what happened here. Bring out this first caution.
We're back here at the Christmas Eve Showdown, wrapping up our first caution of the night. We saw a lot of cars getting taken out as there they are coming off of the pit lane. Some may be able to stay in contention, but some may not. Just have to see how it all fans out. But taking a look at who all got knocked out from that wreck: Matthew Hubert, Chase Harris, Matt Tuck, Nicholas Samadillo, Langston, Stover, all unfortunately not going to make too many laps here tonight, which kind of unfortunate for them, but that is just the product of racing like this. But coming to take the restart, pace car is going to pull into the pit lane, and your top five coming back to the restart is going to be Roberto Crown Jr., Nathan Stapleton, Juan Rodriguez, Jack Haas, and Braden Perez is going to round out your top five. Green flag is waving. We're back racing here in the Christmas Eve Showdown.
With the single file restart, I'm going to be interested to see how quick it takes them to get back into that 4 and 5 wide. But with that massive accident, we're not going to have as large of a pack here, so we may be able to keep it clean for a little while. We're just going to have to see, though, the nature of this racetrack. And I think a lot of it does come down to the fact that this place isn't as banked as much as the Coca-Cola Superspeedway is. So in the Thanksgiving 500, we had that one caution, and that was it in that 50-lap race here. The fact that it's a lot flatter, it's a little bit harder to keep control of the race car down these straightaways, and that's exactly where that big wreck happened.
Yeah. You can see in the corner, you saw right there, Braden Perez bottomed out a bunch there. Managed to keep it under control, but yeah, this track is definitely a lot looser than Coca-Cola Superspeedway. But which in some cases could lead to better racing, but also could lead to more accidents when the conditions are right. But Jack Haas is going to be leading at the line. They're 4 wide right behind him. And to answer that question, we're already back going 4 and 3 wide. 21. Crown almost up into the wall there. That got really close. But
And of course, when we had the dual races for the Thanksgiving 500, we saw a lot of that there at the Coca-Cola Superspeedway. Don't anticipate seeing that as much here in this one, but these guys still have to be careful with that entry, especially in the turn number 1. It's Aaron Abel going for the race lead here on Jack Haas. Jack Haas was the last driver to sign up for this race. Not that it necessarily mattered too much in the starting lineup, but first career start for him, and he's run pretty well so far today.
Yeah, definitely got his lap led, and he's still running up here in this front pack, which definitely looking a lot smaller after that accident, and looks like we got a bunch of cars kind of spread out. These are probably some of the cars that got a little bit of probably aero damage from that accident. Which,
remember, Harris, Irvin Alonso and the one got caught up in that accident with Reggie Fogelman before that big wreck even occurred. So I believe Alonso's a lap down here with Ladovic Charette 93. For Ladovic, tomorrow is kind of going to be his big day, and I'm sure that's the day he's focusing on. Of course, he is all but locked into that championship tomorrow against Nicolas Amadio, and as long as he finishes top 34, he is going to be good. But you never know what could happen. But excited to see the Truck Series finale tomorrow. That's going to be 5 p.m. Eastern Time. It'll be the last race of the year on the channel, and looking to crown Ladovic Charette as the Turkey Hill Truck Series champion.
Yeah, you definitely know I'm looking forward to that one. It's going to be a
maybe you'll win. After that Talladega race, I don't know.
It is what it is. Up front, though, Justin Zeidel on the 51 has gotten out to the race lead. Brendan Wilmington settling in second. Philip Torres third. And now Torres is going to try to look for second underneath the 78. So far, it's seeming
these guys seem to be a lot more
here.
spread out. Yeah, I was just about to say, they look a lot more spread out than they were before that wreck happened. And the fact that this pack isn't as big, allow these guys to race a little bit more room for these guys to maneuver, which they're definitely doing a lot of that. Yeah. So great to see that out of these guys, and they'll not get too aggressive up here. Hopefully, we might be able to go caution-free the rest of the way. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, I'd love to see that too, especially if they can keep it together with how they're racing. This is bound to be a great race, but we'll just have to see what happens. But still going 3 and 4 wide about everywhere you look. But if they can stay spread out like a little bit like this, then hopefully
we're already going to run in the lap traffic here.
And yeah, up here we got the 33, Joshua Harrison. Zeidel's going to get held up just a little bit. Got a little bit swirly behind him. This could allow for the 50 of Philip Torres to get underneath, and just have to see. Ooh, he's going to hold up the 34 of Jack Haas, Sam Oskin, Braden Perez, Brendan Wilmington. He's going to stay.
That jammed everyone up front.
Mm-hmm. See what happens. And it looks like everybody's going to clear him. Oskin struggled a little bit there. Looks like he might have made a little bit of contact with him, but still managed to get by in the end. And we got another lapped car. That's the 18 of Michael Lewis. These guys will have to navigate around. Doesn't look like he has too much damage. I don't know. We'll have to see what happens when they catch him.
And, of course, considering how off the pace he is, he's definitely not off the pace because he lost the draft. And, oh boy, right for the race lead as well. Zayden Davidson making the move there, and Zeidel peeking back to the inside to get her on Aaron Abel. You got Bruno Diacomo moving his way up here.
Big run from Diacomo.
And, how about Diacomo? I mean, he had a great start to the Truck Series season and then kind of fell off and kind of lost the opportunity of the championship. Still 2 wins on the year over there. Excited to see where he ends up next year. Hopefully he gets a full-time ride in the Wall Cup Series, but not going to get the lead right there as we, there we go. Just like the first lap, 5 or 6 lead changes in one lap. Here's Bernardo de Oliveira going for it to the inside of Angel Gutierrez.
Yeah, on the inside lane, here comes Shane Lake in the 24. Never really know who's going to lead a lap here because 1 second you can be leading, next second you could be at the tail end of a pack. Really is the nature of this track. And honestly, that's why I kind of like it. It can be chaotic at times, but never really know what's going to happen.
36 and 20. There.
Yeah. Luckily, they managed to keep it together. Got a bit of a squeeze up here. Looks like everyone's trying to side draft each other. Gotta be careful. And the pack's gotten pretty tightly packed together. Really want to be
about 5 wide in certain places here, and they're doing a good job for now. But one driver makes a mistake, and then you get another big wreck like what we saw earlier on, and there's just no need to be racing like that at this point because if they keep it green from here on out, these guys are essentially going to stay in this pack to the end. As long as you're in contention, that's all you need, and you don't want to risk not being in contention later on in the race. Meanwhile, we got the 34 Jack Haas back to the inside. 14 there of Avery Alford moving his way back through. And we're going to see all these guys in this pack essentially lead as Jesse Turner.
Jesse Turner.
I hate that for Turner because I was so excited to see him in this race, and he kind of get caught up in that accident. He's going to be a lap down early on, but hey, maybe we'll see him in the Cup Series next year. I'm pulling for him to be a full-time driver. That would really make it interesting. After what we saw last year, we're going to have a couple more lap cars here, though. This could get very interesting.
And a small pack of lap cars. Ooh, that's going to hold up to 14. That's going to hold up about everybody. Here comes the 51 of Zidell. Going to get by on the inside. Right behind him, we got the 29 of Owen Miles, Aaron Abel, Shane Lake, Zayden Davidson, Bernardo de Oliveira.
And here we go. Now we're going to start getting the split in the in these packs. So all these guys that avoided this, they're going to end up, being in a better position because they're starting to put about a second, 2 seconds on this second pack now.
Yeah. Which maybe, hopefully in the long run, splitting the pack up could be a good thing. Because that will spread everybody back out. But looks like about everybody has gotten clear of the lapped cars right now. Except for the 17 of Turner, which it looks like about everyone's going to clear him now. But yeah, that's pretty much going to split everybody into about 2 packs. Of course, we've got the lead pack with 1st to 8th, which is Angel Gutierrez. And then from Roberto Crown Jr. on down to the 42 of Stapleton, who is running 22nd at the moment.
And they're spread out enough at this point that they'll probably reform back up. And we'll have to see how much the lap cars get in the way. You got Andrew Miller in the 47, who was caught up in that accident. So like these guys being single file. Oh, boy!
Contact with the 24.
How did they avoid that? It was Shane Lake on Andrew Miller right there.
Oh, my goodness.
These 2-car incidents have been very
That's
fascinating. That's all
contact.
I'm going to say. And we got more going on there with the 2 of Blaine Keys and the 36 there, Juan Rodriguez. 47's really off the pace right now.
And not making it easy for these guys either. But it looks like everybody's finally going to clear that 47, and that could split the pack up even more. But that did allow some cars to rejoin the first pack, like Roberto Crown Jr. and the 21. But
yeah, we got about 15 or so cars in this lead draft right now. Zayden Davidson leading this field. I know he made a couple of starts in the Pro Series, but he's not made a start while I've been running the race yet. So I'm intrigued to see where he ends up for 2024 because he's been making a couple of starts, and he's been having a good race so far here in this Christmas Eve Showdown. Yeah. So has Avery Alford. So has that 29 machine of Owen Miles. I haven't talked too much about Owen, but he's up here. Doesn't get to drive that often, as a matter of fact. Only his 2nd start, I think, of the year. His first being the Thanksgiving 500. A lot like Ryan Durrani. They are owners a majority of the season, and they come out to drive these special events. So we'll see if Owen Miles can pull something out of his hat here today.
Just have to see, but looks like this pack has gained a couple more cars. Travis Crampton, Brennan Wilmington, Blaine Keys. But up front, now it's Avery Alford in the 14, but Davidson trying to retake the race lead. But now we've really kind of solidified 2 packs. We've got a pretty small pack back here. Stapleton, Haas, Torres, Williams, Skylar Taylor, Brian Webb. All back here. I'll have to see if they could potentially catch up, but with the lead pack having so many cars, that might make it pretty tough.
Lead pack's back to 8 now, about 15 cars, and then you got all those other guys that are only in a 7-car pack essentially. So it's going to take some serious checkups from this lead pack because of lap traffic in order for the second pack to catch up here. So we essentially got our group of guys who are probably in contention to win this race at this point. All the way from Juan Rodriguez down to the 6 of Bernardo de Oliveira there. So I think someone in this pack's going to end up getting the race victory here tonight.
Just have to see. Taking a look. Next lap traffic isn't for a little bit. That's the 43 of Thomas Truxell, 31 of Igor Barreto. And you got the 27 of Ryan Durrani, pretty further up the road. There's the 5 of Rogel Dorn. So hopefully they probably won't catch another lap traffic car for a while. But we'll just have to wait and see. But to the lead, it's going to be the 20 of Braden Perez. He's got Brendan Wilmington behind him, who's now going to try to go for the race lead. Wilmington has a bit of help there from Oskin, but Oskin looks like he's going to try to go for it himself. But I don't know if he has the momentum.
The thing I've noticed about this racetrack in comparison to Coca-Cola is that the inside lane, I think, has a bit more momentum off the exit.
Yeah.
As banked as Coca-Cola, so that's the only other track you can really compare it to with a race that we've run recently. Of course, Homestead is shaped like this, but they're going to race a lot differently tomorrow on that Truck Series finale than they are right now, I'll tell you that much.
Yeah, I think that's pretty safe guess, I would say.
We've had a lot of caution-free races over there in the Truck Series, so, I guess we were due for a big wreck.
Caution-free races aren't necessarily a bad thing, but...
No, not at all. We've had a lot of fun with that, and, that's been the cool thing about the Truck Series this year, is that half the races have actually gone caution-free, and a lot of that has to do, of course, with the fact that the races are much shorter than a lot of the other races we run, but regardless of the fact, I hope to see a caution-free race from here on out here tonight, because I don't want to see any of these guys get wrecked out. It's a shame, like I said, to see all those guys, all those strong names get wrecked out early on, and they're not in contention for this win now, but there's still a lot of strong names up front here trying to get it done, with Seidel still leading this field. And I will say Seidel's been kind of one of those guys that's just been up front a majority of this race, so he's definitely got to watch out for, because he has had a very excellent run, and he's been up front multiple times, more so than a lot of other guys so far.
Yeah, Seidel looking pretty quick out there. He's actually kind of gapping himself from the rest of the field. Granted, the rest of the field's kind of going at it with each other. Saw these guys were 4 wide just a second ago, but it looks like they've got that figured out. As now Aaron Abel is up to second. He might try and see if he can run down that 51. But yeah, Zeidel's been one of those guys who can kind of hold the lead for a lap or two. I think he's got a pretty fast car. Zeidel, Davidson, maybe Avery Alfred in the 14, that they've been up front quite often. To see if that could maybe culminate into a race victory, but catching up on some lapped cars. And we could have a battle for the race lead on our hands right now as Aaron Abel looks to the inside of Justin Zeidel.
You got Thomas Troxel up here and the 31 of Igor Bretto. And those are two guys who, highly experienced veterans on the channel and get taken out just like that. Obviously Troxel won multiple races in the Cup Series, and Igor Barreto, the owner of Drew Webb in the Wawa Cup Series, got the owner's title with him. Brendan Wilmington won the owner's title overall. But it's a shame we're not seeing these guys battle for the race win at this point, because there's just so many guys I'd would have loved to see battle for it here. But hey, we got a great group of guys up front here, including Sam and Oskin, who's taking the race lead here. Got the 14 as well there of Avery Alfred, and the 56 of Angel Gutierrez. Gutierrez, he won the Indy 250. Still going for that first stock car win. This won't be a bad race to win if he gets it done.
Oh boy, got it. Ooh boy.
Hey, double split.
Whoa. Sam and Oskin really putting the floor down there. As well, this could be trouble behind. Braden Perez heavily getting held up by the 12 of Drew Webb.
Those two had a couple of interesting moments in the Cup Series this year.
Drew Webb in the car probably saying, that's for New Hampshire.
Exactly. Or Michigan.
Or Michigan. Yeah, they've had quite a few run-ins in the Wawa Cup Series.
Not necessarily run-ins, too. It's just every time something happened to Drew Webb, it was Braden Perez who ended up winning. So,
yeah.
And Braden Perez still the beneficiary as Drew Webb's multiple laps down. Perez still in the middle of this thing trying to win it.
Yeah. And I have to see how the second pack maneuvers around these guys. Looks like they're doing okay. Looks like a lot of them are actually trying to single file out a little bit. But, oh boy. 4 wide as they're trying to get by the 27 of Durrani.
And we're now halfway through this race, so just like that, halfway through and 25 laps to go. And there's no pit stops in this one either, so unlike the X 7500, you don't have to worry about that cycle, so you mainly just got to keep your car clean and avoid these lapped cars in such a way where you can be up front near the end of this race and have an opportunity.
Yeah, definitely been an interesting one to say the least so far. But So far, it's been fun, and like I said, I do hope that this last part goes caution-free, so that we can see how this would play out.
And interestingly enough, I think the lap traffic helps us keep it caution-free because it splits the pack up to a point where there's a lot more room for these guys to maneuver. Now, trying to maneuver around the lap cars is one thing, and that may be where the issue is, because Andrew Miller is really slow. He may be the slowest one out there at this point. 47 really holding these guys up, but when they're spread out like this, a less likely chance that they're going to end up getting into each other and causing at least a massive wreck. We got the 5, Rogel Doran up here, as Brendan Wilmington leads this field.
And right in front of him, you got the number 98 of Colin Fragniti.
Colin Fragniti, first career start.
Yeah.
Definitely not the best way to start out. We saw Brett Hill, who is not in this race, unfortunately. It's been cool to see Brett Hill in this. Who won the Thanksgiving 500 in his first career start. I don't think we're going to actually see that here today. I think we're going to see a driver who's had a lot of experience get this race victory. And we have a couple guys in their first career start still in the mix, but we got a lot of guys like Justin Zeidel, Brendan Wilmington, Roberto Crown Jr., 56 Gutierrez, who have experience, who have race victories on the channel. I feel like one of those guys is going to pull it off. But it's any guess on who is actually going to pull it off here today.
Yeah, that's still much definitely up in the air for grabs, and just have to see how it plays out. But Justin Zeidel, back up to the race lead. I think, arguably, he might have, the best car here tonight.
Yeah, this is like the 5th or 6th time he's gotten himself up front. Now, of course, only one lap really matters in this race, but considering how frequently he can put himself in position, he's definitely the strongest favorite to win this race. But the nature of this racetrack, the nature of this race, it really is anybody who's still got a full functioning motor and who's within a second of the race leader on that last lap. So it's going to be interesting to see if Zeidel's put in a position near the end of this thing where he might lose it. But right now, he looks like one of the strongest drivers out there, as I mentioned earlier. Brandon Wilmington also looking very strong. Good run for Roberto Crown Jr. as well. They've had an excellent race. Aaron Abel's another guy who's been up front quite a bit here. Anybody in this lead pack, even Crampton. How about Travis Crampton there in the 30 machine? I'm pretty sure he's still on the lead lap there. He's one who has not gotten up to the lead yet in this race, but he is still up here. And you know what? I'm sure yesterday is ringing in his mind, even though that really wasn't for anything regarding this race. Still, he lost that race by absolutely nothing. I'm sure he's got a chip on his shoulder from that tie yesterday, and he'd love to tie somebody for the win here in the main event.
Yeah, I definitely know Crampton's probably hungry for that win, and he's not really been up towards the front, but he's kind of been lurking near the tail end of this pack. I wonder if potentially he's probably just waiting for the right time to strike. We'll just have to wait and see, but looks like we have a lot of cars that are kind of hanging on to this lead pack and could potentially catch back up eventually, especially with the lead pack being this strung out. But Zeidel's still out front. They're going 3 wide for second. I know Zeidel probably likes to see that because probably impacts the momentum that they have on him. But it looks like they're going to sort that out as Wilmington's going to keep hold of second, but here comes the 21, Roberto Crown Jr. looking to the inside once again.
And I think at this point, even though we won't need to come down the pit lane for service, tire wear is still a thing here. And, sure, this is a super speedway, but these tires are starting to wear out a little bit. And when the tires start to wear out, it's a little bit harder to stay side by side and make moves, and I think that's what we're kind of seeing right now. These guys are kind of starting to feel it out and kind of just running out because their tires are starting to go away, and Zeidel's in a great position now if that's the case. We'll have to see. He's led the most laps in this race, no doubt about it, in that 51 machine. Got one win at Road America in the Cup Series earlier this year. Otherwise, didn't have the most successful Cup Series season, but moving over to Racing Motorsports with Aaron Abel next year. Blake, he's going to be his teammate. Could be a new beginning for him in the 2024 Wawa Cup Series. Excited to see what he does there, but excited to see if he can pull this one off in that 51 machine.
Yeah, and like you said, with the tires starting to wear, we're starting to see these guys string out a little bit. Not seeing as much 4 wide or 3 wide even. About everyone's just 2 wide right now. But
you say that.
Yeah, of course, as soon as I say that, they're trying to go 3 wide. But yeah, it looks like it's becoming a lot difficult to maneuver past somebody, as we saw Roberto Crown Jr. struggling to get by the 78 of Wilmington. looks like Aaron Abel's just going to do just that right now. And looking to potentially catch 51 of Zidell. I think Abel's got a pretty strong car here tonight as well. But yeah, with the tires starting to wear, starting to see things calm down just a little bit. Which is hopefully strengthening the outcome that we can go the rest of this race caution-free.
How about Nathan Stapleton there in the 42 machine? He had lost the main pack not too long ago. Now he's back in it. Also back in there, you got the 7 of Logan Williams, who's back in the draft of this lead pack. He's still very much in that. Blaine Keys in the 2 as well. I mean, watch out for Blaine Keys. He's a solid driver. Blaine's looking for his 6th win of the year. Won the Smooth Fest, and then got a couple wins in the Cup Series and a couple wins in the Truck Series. He's been all around all year long. And, this is definitely kind of a race that Blaine might win.
Yeah. Definitely have to keep an eye on the number 2.
Oh, more lap car. Hit Drew Webb. Oh,
hit
boy.
Drew Webb again. And Reggie Fogelman.
The Drew Webb Revenge Tour. I mean, he still won that championship, but I tell you, so many things got thrown his way that realistically he should have lost it. But, hey, you know what? He's going to have a good season again, I feel like, with Titan Fury next year. And excited to see if he can defend his Wawa Cup Series title.
For sure. Yeah, definitely excited to see him next season. Especially glad that he's finally back after that hiatus.
We were concerned about him. We were concerned about you, buddy. But great to see Drew back. And, excited to see, what he pulls off next year. It's a shame that this race didn't go his way. But you know what? It's just a special event, and
Yeah.
And the main thing's coming up. Hey, you know what? The Meliola Smooth Fest is 6 weeks from now. I'll tell you, it ain't that long from now when we're going to be in New Smyrna for that great race, and I'm telling you, I'm looking forward to it. I'm excited to get the 2024 season underway. That's why I'm talking about it a lot here. It's going to be a lot of fun.
For sure. I'm excited about that.
Trying to get San Mateo back in line there. Logan Williams won 2 races for you. I feel like Logan's going to have a better season. I feel like that's one thing. But, San Mateo as well. I like to see him get a win, Will that happen? I'm hoping it does.
I'm very surprised that he didn't. But
we might have a pass for the race lead here.
Here comes Aaron Abel.
On his future driver there in the Wawa Cup Series.
They're going to stay side by side down the back stretch. They're kind of dragging each other back. Neither of them have help. Because they were both pretty far out ahead. But looks like Zidell got a little bit more momentum on the outside off of turn number 2. And he's going to keep the lead. Here comes the 20. Braden Perez looking to the inside for second now.
And I think we're seeing right there, those tires are just worn out to a point where it's a lot harder to make a pass. I mean, Zidell's been out front the past 10 laps or so here. And, it's going to take a lot of pushing, a lot of momentum. It's still very possible, but Zidell is in the best position at this point, considering that tire wear. Only 15 laps to go here at M&M's Superspeedway. Avery Alford making a move there for second on Braden Perez. You got Jack Haas still in the middle. If there is anyone who could pull it off, it's that 34. And then when I say pull it off in terms of winning their first career start, it is Jack Haas. He's really the only driver in this draft who is making his first career start here today. And you know what? There's a good chance he might do something in that 34 machine. We'll just have to see if he can do it.
That'll definitely be interesting. Haas seemed pretty quick tonight. Been up in the front most of the evening, so we'll just have to see if he can pull it off. They're catching Andrew Miller again.
And this is the big wild card right here, because Zidell's got to be careful with these lap cars. And if he doesn't catch the lap car correctly, he could lose the lead. And thankfully all these guys essentially got around that 47 without too much damage, but they're coming close on a 51 machine, and you got 3 cars here. You got that 48 there. Nathan Ormond in the middle with the 11 machine. Laura Chung, one of Hergelarv and Alonso, all caught up in prior accidents. Braden Perez is going to try to make a move here, and you know what? He's got help this time, and this might be our first lead change in a while.
Yeah, he's got the help, and he'll have the advantage going into 3 and 4 on that inside lane. And he's going to do it. New leader, Braden Perez, going to take it away here on lap number 37. Zidell's going to fall to 4th. And Zidell's going to fall back quite a bit there. Have to see if he can get the composure back, but right now he's kind of stuck on that outside because he's got Roberto Crown Jr. still underneath him. But here we go. They're catching that pack of cars. Perez going all the way down to the inside, but he's going to get blocked by the 11. Here he comes. Here comes Justin Seidel.
At 51, I mean, he found his way back to the inside, and boom, there he is, looking to get it away again. And that's the thing that I've noticed with Seidel. He's been able to get himself back in the lead very quickly each time. And this is a mess right here, because you got 3 lap cars kind of holding these guys up on the outside, but they're not going slow enough where they can just drive right around them. Now, this car ahead of them might be slow enough where that ends up being the case, but Seidel's back out front to the lead. Now, Aaron Abel's going to take it away. And where did Brian Webb come from in that 13? How about the other Webb in this race, who's quietly kept himself in this lead draft? He's now up to 2nd.
Yeah, he's just been barely hanging on to the tail end of this draft. But probably some lap traffic has helped him finally catch up to this pack, and now he's in a position to take the lead here as he looks to the inside of Aaron Abel, and he's got help from Sam Odoskin.
You know what? Initially, when that wreck happened, I was kind of like, oh, man, that's a shame that happened. We're not going to have as good of a race as we could have. Well, you know what? These guys have put on a great show. And, you know, we've seen some guys kind of come back through the ranks of this field to get back up front. And Brian Webb's one of them. First time he's led all day, as far as I understand. And you also got Logan Williams there on the inside behind the 50 of Philip Torres. You know, these are some guys who have not led in quite a while, but they've been hanging in this pack, and now, coming to 11 laps to go, it's go time, and they're looking to get this race victory here today.
May have started out pretty rough, but this race has gone very, very well, I think, after that first initial big one happened. This has definitely been a spectacular race.
And not to mention all the issues we had trying to even start recording it.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we got to this point, and we're going to have ourselves a great finish. I'm hoping, you know, still 10 laps to go. Hopefully they can still keep it clean and green to the end.
Let's hope so, but we got 4 wide for second. Here comes the 34 of Jack Haas. Trying to go for second now, trying to go for the lead, but he's going to slip up just a bit. That allowed the 21 of Crown to get underneath. And here comes Brian Webb once again, and how about Travis Crampton? He's back up here again.
And don't, right behind Crampton, guess who it is? It's Justin Seidel. So, you know, he fell back there, and now he's kind of back in position, and we'll have to see how this ends up shaking out, because that 43, that 33, they're off the pace. Brian Webb's got the advantage on the inside. Travis Crampton, how about those guys? That inside lane was where you wanted to be right there in that situation.
And Travis Crampton looked to the inside. He's got the push from Justin Seidel, but Justin Seidel's going to take his chance. He's going to make his move. He's got a bunch of help behind him.
Oh, whoa, that 31. What was that all about there? Igor Barreto kind of cutting down on the field there. They're not going to be too happy with him after that. Philip Torres still hung up behind the 33 after he was the leader a couple laps ago. That's a shame for him.
Hopefully, if he can clear this pack of cars fast enough, he can potentially get the draft. And they've caught Drew Webb and Reggie Fogelman again. A bunch of cars split. Oh boy!
I am genuinely surprised that we've done this enough in this race where they have not just rear-ended that 12 machine, or the 47 for that matter, because those are the 2 slowest cars on the track. And they've been able to avoid them each time. And guess who? Guess who's out front?
It's Justin Seidel. Back out to the race lead. He's got a pretty sizable race lead now. 2 of the cars behind him. They're going 3 wide behind him, but it looks like it's going to be Owen Miles. Haven't talked about Owen Miles that much this race.
I don't think he's led, but you know, he got up front a little bit earlier. He's been in the pack, and now he's in position again. You know, any of these guys can still win it. I mean, I know Seidel's the favorite at this point, the way it's gone, but you know, we've still seen that he can lose the race lead. So we'll just have to see. All you got to do is be in it to win it at the end. You've got a chance.
Getting to crunch time in this race. Got inside 10 laps to go. Here comes the number 13 of Brian Webb. He's going for a move for second on the 29 of Owen Miles. Looking to take that spot away. It looks like he's going to. And I think if these guys potentially want a chance to pass the 51, they're probably going to have to work together a little bit. Have to see if they can. Got a little bit of 4 wide back here.
They're really starting to scramble now. They know that this race is about to end, and You got to be careful. You never know when a caution could come out either. So you end up getting one around lap 48 right there. You know, boom, that's it. It's the point of no return. And, you know, you got to be in position to win this race whenever it might end. Now, obviously, the way it's gone, it's reasonable to assume that we'll get to lap 50, but you never know.
Back here, Philip Torres, big run by the 50. He caught back up to the field, and he caught back up fast, and now he's...
And the draft is very strong here.
Yeah. Almost got chopped off there by the 7 of Logan Williams. Looks like they're all going to keep it together. Braden Perez looking to get a draft, but Nathan Stapleton's going to try to peek to the inside.
About Stapleton. I'd watch out for Stapleton. You know, he's got a lot. I mean, all these guys have a lot of experience up here, and that's the big difference between what we're seeing now and what we saw with Thanksgiving 500. Oh, and look at that 20. He's got a chance here.
And you know, when Justin Zeidel led all those laps last time, you know who the car to pass him for the lead was? Braden Perez.
And you know, we call him... I mean, he coined it himself. But you know what? It was very, very fitting to call him Mr. Steal Your Win, you know, and this would be a very fitting race for him to win, the way this one has gone. But a lot of shuffling there. Brian Webb and now Avery Alford on that inside lane, and Zeidel still leads it.
Braden Perez tried to go for a move there, but almost got taken 4 wide by Stapleton and Webb. And boy!
Brother, that was close.
Stuart Gratton's
you know, he may not get back around here.
Oh, boy.
This could be a yellow.
To see if he gets back around, if he pulls off to the apron. He stopped on the surface.
He stopped on the racing surface. We'll see.
Caution is out.
They might call it. They will. Oh, my goodness.
Oh, boy.
Man. And, you know, and I'm going to ask you right now. We got 2 lap cautions, right? All right, so we will have a restart in this race, and it's going to be a late race restart, and, oh boy. See, the nice thing about that, we shouldn't have to run in the lap traffic near the end of this race, so all these guys who are up front, they're going to be able to go after it and not have to worry about maneuvering around anybody here. But I don't think I wanted to see that if I was Justin Zeidel. I think the way that race was shaking out, the way everything was going, he could have held those guys off to the end. But now I'm not so sure, because on a restart, he really doesn't have the advantage. All those guys can bunch up and just go right to the inside of him. This is going to be a very, very fun restart here in this Christmas Eve Showdown. Santa's bringing a good present here tonight, I'll tell you that much.
Probably a present addressed to the entire field. Fortunately,
addressed to one driver in particular, which we'll see in a second.
Just have to see how it all pans out. Hopefully, we should be going green with 3 laps to go. But yeah, we've seen these guys are very aggressive on restarts. We usually see a lot of moves being made. We'll just have to see how things play out.
And how about all the races we've had here at M&M's? Of course, I know the races yesterday, kind of like little sprint races that initially were going to set the starting lineup, but still we kept them anyway, and I'm glad we did. After you told me what had happened, I was like, you have to upload that. So I'm glad you all got to see that. And we could be in store for something else here tonight.
Just have to wait and see, but let's take a quick glance at what brought us under our second caution of the night. And we'll get you back to the racing action here in the Christmas Eve Showdown. We're back here in the 2023 Christmas Eve Showdown here at the M&M Superspeedway, wrapping up our second caution of the night for a stalled Stuart Grattan on the back straightaway. And that is going to set us up for a 3-lap dash to the finish. AG, I don't know about you, but I think this is going to be absolutely crazy.
It's going to be interesting. I don't think Justin's going to win this race now. And like I said, just before we went away, I was thinking to myself, if that thing stayed green, Justin was going to be in position. But I don't know. These guys are going to gang up on him here. How about Brian Webb there in second? Roberto Crown Jr. has been up here a lot. Nathan Stapleton, Aaron Abel. You know, Jack Haas, how about him there? First career start for him. Will he go the way of Brett Hill, win his first career start on a big special event? I don't know. It's possible. There's a lot of veterans up here, and it's going to be a great 3 laps to determine this race winner.
Just have to wait and see what happens, but the top 5 heading back to the restart's going to be Justin Zeidel, Brian Webb, Roberto Crown Jr., Nathan Stapleton, and Aaron Abel. The green flag is back out. 3 laps to go here in the 2023 Christmas Eve Showdown. And a pretty good restart there from the 51 of Zeidel. Pulling out a little bit from the 13 of Webb. Jack Haas already trying to make a move down to the inside. Roberto Crown Jr. going for second on the 13 of Brian Webb. This is probably what Zeidel wants to see.
Yeah, I'm glad this is a 3-lap shootout and not 1 or 2 laps, because by the time we get to that 3rd lap, they're going to be up to speed and they're going to be in position. This first lap, they're trying to wind themselves up, and Zeidel's doing a great job. You know, the fact that Crown went to the inside of Webb right there, that helped the 51 out tremendously.
Oh, big run there to the inside from Aaron Abel.
But he's getting way too much of a lead at this point. That's not a good position to be in with all these guys starting to bunch back up.
Probably not. And on the front stretch, 2 laps to go. Crown Jr. is going to have a pretty good draft here. Going to have a lot of momentum coming into turns 1 and 2.
This might be it right here. We'll see if Crown can get a run on Zeidel. He's not going to have any help, though. And that 55 of Aaron Abel's got Jack House to the inside of him. How about that 34? This is a prime opportunity for him, but he doesn't have any help on that inside either. And they're single file up front here while he got a lot of movement going on behind them.
Yep, and Aaron Abel, he's going to go for a move on Crown for second. Like I said, this is what Justin Zeidel wants. If these guys keep going at it, he's just going to stay right where he is.
Juan Rodriguez back there. And Philip Torres on that inside lane. You know, if things kind of work out in a certain way, one of those guys could be in position. But I don't know. Zeidel's holding on to it as we take the white flag here at M&M's.
1 lap to go here at the M&M Superspeedway for Justin Zeidel. Is he going to be able to hang on? Can Aaron Abel potentially do something about it? Through turns 1 and 2, Jack Haas is going to look to the inside of Abel. He has no help, though. I think this is going to be a detriment to him, and this could maybe even potentially seal it for Zeidel. Have to see as they go down the backstretch. Big run there from the 50 of Philip
Aaron's
Torres.
going to have a shot here.
I think Aaron Abel could have a shot here.
Problem is he doesn't have any help, so he's going to have to make a move here if anything's going to happen.
They're shuffling behind him, and there goes Abel. Here comes Abel to the inside. Through 3 and 4, they're going to be door-to-door down the front straightaway. Here we go to the line. Abel, Zeidel, side by side. It's going to be Justin Zeidel who's going to get it done. He wins the 2023 Christmas Eve Showdown.
How about that? And it was a well-deserved win, and that was an earned win, too. You know, I was thinking coming into this race, it was going to be all about luck. Justin led about half of this race and held these guys off, and he absolutely deserves it here. What a performance out of the veteran Justin Zeidel, getting the race victory here. The M&M Superspeedway on Christmas Eve. That's a good one right there.
For sure. We said all night, Justin Zeidel arguably had the best car, and he's going to be the one to get it done here tonight. A well-deserved win for Justin Zeidel. Looks like Christmas is coming a little bit early to that household, it seems.
I know he's going to be happy with that one. His second win of the year on the channel, by the way, so definitely some momentum going in the next year, winning this race. And Justin, too, you know, he's a guy who's been around for a long time. I mean, his first start, I think, 2016, maybe it was 2017, one of those 2 years. But hey, that's been a long time. Great to see one of the long-time veterans pull it off here tonight.
Yeah. Taking a look though at your finishing results, Justin Zidell gets it done here in the 2023 Christmas Eve Showdown. Like we said earlier in the race, it could be one of the experienced veterans getting it done. And indeed it was. But looking further on down the field, Aaron Abel coming up just short in second. Still a great run though from him. And Jack Haas, third in his first ever career start. Good stuff there for him.
Absolutely.
Looking further on down the field, fourth we have Juan Rodriguez. Braden Perez is going to round out your top five. Wilmington comes home sixth. Brian Webb seventh. Zayden Davidson eighth. Philip Torres ninth. And Bernardo de Oliveira is going to round out your top 10. But final thoughts, what did you think about this?
This was a fun race, and like I said, great to have the Christmas special event back. We didn't have it for a couple of years there, and I was like, Caleb, if you do something, I know it's going to be very popular, and I hope you guys enjoyed this one. I know Justin Zidell enjoyed it. I know we had that big wreck earlier on that took out a lot of guys. That was kind of unfortunate to see. Some of those bigger names like Sam Adio, Matt Tuck, Thomas Tronxel get taken out. Turner, kind of an unfortunate victim. I think he had a strong car, and he ended up finishing a lap down because he just lost the draft there. But, wow, that was a lot of fun. And you know what? It's Christmas Eve, it's the best time of the year, always an exciting little time, an exciting night, great way to start the festivities. And then we roll into tomorrow with the last race of the year on the channel, the Wawa 250 and the Turkey Hill Truck Series. That's going to be a fun race, and we're going to be focusing on the race a lot more because Ladovic's pretty much got that championship in the bag. But what a year on the channel. And, once again, I'd like to thank you, Caleb, for coming in. What a year it has been on the channel here. The Wawa Cup Series, that was such a blast to do, and I'm so much looking forward to the 2024 season. Obviously all the races that we had, and then, bringing Caleb on board to run the Pro Series there, get him used to running, races on the channel, and just, add some more flair to the channel. He's done such an excellent job. And this race as well, putting this together was all his idea. All I did was like, hey, if you do a Christmas special event, people are going to like it, and then he took it from there. So this race being in M&M's, using this car set, everything, he did the signups, he set everything up for it, and he did a hell of a job, man, and I appreciate you for that. And hey, Justin Zidell, what a win for him, and one of the closest finishes of the year. Not the closest finish here. You know what, Caleb, you just got the closest finish of the year with that dual race last night, and that'll be coming up New Year's Eve, and that'll be the last video of the year before we roll into next year. And hey, it won't be too long before the Wawa Cup Series signups are going to be going on January 19th. But hey, if you're in the Discord, you know what's up. And hey, that's so much coming up, and I'm excited for it. But a huge thank you to you, Caleb. Huge thank you to all you guys for supporting this channel all year long. You'll have a very Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And hey, congratulations to Justin Zidell for getting the race victory here at the M&M Superspeedway.
For sure. I am incredibly grateful for having this opportunity. This year has been so much fun, and like I said, it's been a blast to work for you and do these things. It's been awesome, and I can't wait to see what 2024 will bring. But thank you all so much for watching, and once again, thank you, AG, so much for joining me here tonight. And also, I will say one more thing before I go. I haven't forgot about it. I still got one more thing up my sleeve for you all. Remember the Wawa Cup Series music video?
Oh, yeah.
That should still hopefully be coming soon. I'm not 100% sure if it will drop on Christmas Day, but hopefully sometime between now and New Year's, that should be finished, and I'll be putting that out.
We're excited.
Oh, my singing's terrible, but we'll manage. Yeah, once again, thank you all so much for watching. I hope you all have a very Merry Christmas, spending it with your family or however you may celebrate. And once again, congratulations to Justin Zidell for winning the 2023 Christmas Eve Showdown, and I will see you all in 2024. You all take care, and have a good one.